Joker. Villains in Batman's world aren't just criminals, they're nightmares given shape. And at the center of all of that stands the Joker, an icon of pure chaos. First appearing in 1940, he was meant to be a one-off villain, but his eerie charisma made him Batman's greatest nemesis. Created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson, his design was inspired by the sinister grin of the man who laughs. A great villain needs a great origin, or several. The most famous paints him as a struggling comedian who, after botching a heist, fell into a vat of chemicals, emerging with ghostly white skin, green hair, and a deranged smile. Yet he mocks the idea of a fixed past. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. Unlike most villains, the Joker doesn't crave power. He thrives on chaos. He's paralyzed Barbara Gordon, murdered Robin, and turned Gotham into his playground of terror. His true fixation? Batman. To him, the Dark Knight isn't an enemy. He's a lifelong playmate in a never-ending game. His purple suits, green hair, and chilling grin make him instantly recognizable. At his most grotesque, he even carved off his own face and wore it as a mask. Yet even he has limits. When teaming up with Red Skull, he turned on him, saying, "I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic." In the end, the Joker isn't just a villain, he is chaos itself. The Penguin. Gotham's underworld is filled with masked lunatics, but few navigate it with as much cunning as Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot, the Penguin. Unlike Gotham's maniacs, he doesn't rely on insanity or brute force. Instead, he thrives on power, wealth, and strategy, always dressed in a nicely tailored tuxedo. Oswald's path to villainy began with a cruel childhood. Mocked for his short stature, hooked nose, and round figure, he was cast out by his aristocratic family. His paranoid mother, obsessed with keeping him from catching pneumonia, forced him to carry an umbrella at all times, a childhood humiliation that became his deadliest weapon. But Penguin never begged for acceptance. Instead, he took power, using his intelligence, his love for birds, and cutthroat ambition. He built a vast criminal empire. His umbrellas? Far from ordinary. Some fire bullets, others shoot gas, and a few even let him glide through the air. But his real weapon is his mind. Unlike Gotham's more chaotic villains, he doesn't waste time on reckless destruction. Instead, he runs the Iceberg Lounge, a nightclub that doubles as a front for arms trading, extortion, and smuggling. Yet every villain has a weakness. Penguin lacks the brute force of Bane or Killer Croc. He relies on gadgets, henchmen, and arrogance, and that arrogance is usually his downfall. In Gotham, you don't need madness to be dangerous, just brains, ambition, and maybe a lethal umbrella. Riddler. Riddles, puzzles, and mind games. Edward Nygma, the Riddler, is Gotham's perhaps most cunning criminal. Unlike the city's more violent thugs, he doesn't rely on brute force. His true weapon is his intellect, and every crime he commits is a challenge to prove he's the smartest guy in the room. Edward's obsession with puzzles began in childhood. His abusive father, jealous of his intelligence, accused him of cheating and punished him harshly. Determined to prove his brilliance, Edward became obsessed with outsmarting others. He started small, rigged carnival games, but quickly grew bored. He craved a challenge. Reinventing himself as the Riddler, he turned Gotham into his personal battle of wits, designing crimes as riddles to taunt the Batman. But his genius goes beyond just riddles. The Riddler is also a very skilled engineer, using high-tech gadgets to gain the upper hand. His question-mark-shaped cane delivers electric shocks, hacks security systems, and projects holograms. Despite his brilliance, he has one fatal flaw: his ego. His compulsive need to prove his superiority forces him to leave clues, making it much easier for Batman to catch him. The Riddler isn't just a basic criminal, he's an enigma that Batman can never stop solving. Two-Face. Few villains embody tragedy and terror like Two-Face. Once, Harvey Dent was Gotham's golden boy, charming, intelligent, and determined to bring justice. But one moment changed everything. A trial, a vial of acid, and a scream of agony marked the death of Harvey Dent and the birth of Two-Face. Two-Face isn't just a man with a ruined face. He's the embodiment of duality: good versus evil, law versus crime, justice versus vengeance. His two-headed coin controls his fate. Heads you live, tails you don't. Two-Face's crimes follow a pattern: robberies, murders, and escapes, all centered around the number 2. His fixation makes him predictable, but also ruthless. Yet Harvey Dent is still inside him somewhere. A brilliant strategist and legal mind, he once stood beside Batman, but his fatal flaw is also his weakness, the coin. No matter how many times he's cured, Two-Face always returns. He is perhaps Batman's most tragic foe, one who could have been a hero if only fate had flipped the coin differently. Catwoman. Selina Kyle, better known as Catwoman, is Gotham City's most elusive thief. A master burglar, she has crossed paths with Batman countless times, sometimes as an enemy, sometimes as an uneasy ally. Raised in a broken home, Selina learned early that the world takes what it wants, so she decided to take it back. She embraced the art of thievery, mastering disguise, stealth, and combat. She's infiltrated the most dangerous organizations, from the Justice League to the secret society of supervillains. Walking the thin line between hero and villain, she's battled crime bosses, outwitted Batman, and even ruled Gotham's underworld. Whether stealing jewels or Gotham's secrets, Selina Kyle remains the city's most unpredictable and dangerous femme fatale. Bane. Bane is not just a brute. He's a master strategist who broke Batman both physically and mentally. Born in Peñaduro prison, he inherited his father's life sentence but rose above it, training relentlessly and reading every book available. A government experiment with the super steroid venom transformed him into an unstoppable force, at the cost of a lifelong addiction. He studied Batman before striking, freeing Arkham's worst to wear him down. Once Batman was at his weakest, Bane infiltrated the Batcave and shattered his spine. Though his rule over Gotham was short-lived, Bane remains Batman's ultimate test, both in mind and muscle. Scarecrow. Dr. Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, is Gotham's master of fear. A disgraced psychology professor, his obsession with terror led to his transformation into a living nightmare. After being fired for extreme experiments, he abandoned conventional weapons for psychological warfare. His fear toxin forces victims to endure their worst nightmares, capable of causing madness or even death. Though physically frail, his deep knowledge of phobias lets him break people without lifting a finger. He once wielded a Sinestro Corps ring, turning fear into solid constructs. Yet despite his control over terror, even the Scarecrow isn't immune to fear. Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul, leader of the League of Assassins, has shaped world events for centuries. Viewing humanity as a plague, he seeks global purges to restore balance. Born over 600 years ago, he discovered the Lazarus Pits, which grant near immortality but cause temporary madness. Betrayed by a sadistic prince, he burned an entire city and took the name Demon's Head. He sees Batman as his ideal successor, even offering his daughter Talia in marriage. Their conflicts are legendary, a chess match spanning decades. But even death cannot stop him. Through clones and dark rituals, Ra's al Ghul always returns. Talia al Ghul. Talia al Ghul is more than just Ra's al Ghul's daughter. She is a manipulative and ruthless mastermind. She seduced Bruce Wayne, not for love, but to produce an heir, Damian Wayne, raised to be the perfect warrior. Unlike her father, she doesn't just want Batman's legacy, she wants to break him. She built the terrorist organization Leviathan, defied her father to take control of the League of Assassins, and resurrected Jason Todd using the Lazarus Pit, knowing the madness it would bring. Talia is perhaps one of Batman's most personal and dangerous enemies, using charm, deception, and brutality to achieve her goals. Poison Ivy. Dr. Pamela Isley, Poison Ivy, is Gotham's botanical queen of crime. A brilliant botanist turned eco-terrorist, she views humanity as a virus threatening the planet. Betrayed and poisoned by her professor, she mutated, becoming immune to toxins and capable of controlling plants. Her deadly pheromones bend minds, and her kiss is lethal. Despite her cold detachment from humanity, her friendship with Harley Quinn reveals traces of warmth, yet her ultimate loyalty will always lie with nature, making her one of Gotham's deadliest threats. Mr. Freeze. Dr. Victor Freeze, Mr. Freeze, is Gotham's most tragic villain. Unlike most criminals, his motivation isn't power or destruction, it's love. A brilliant cryogenicist, Freeze's life shattered when his wife Nora was diagnosed with a terminal illness. To save her, he placed her in suspended animation, but corporate greed intervened, shutting down his research. In the struggle, a freak accident altered his body chemistry, forcing him to live in sub-zero temperatures. Encased in a cryosuit and wielding a freeze gun, he wages a cold war on Gotham, not for wealth, but to fund his desperate quest to save Nora. But in his obsession, he's lost the warmth of humanity, becoming colder than the ice he commands. His story is a tragedy of love, loss, and isolation. While most villains crave chaos, Mr. Freeze wants only one thing: time with the woman he loves. And those are our most iconic Batman villains. Let us know in the comments which one is your favorite, and which others you think we should have included. And don't forget to hit the like button so you don't miss any more of these deep dives and strange lore. We'll see you in the next video.